What if the battle in your head is not real? Because think about, what problem do you have today? What is that thing that is holding you back from having a really good day and enjoying where you are and feeling peaceful and living in acceptance, and everything feels exciting, like options, like a game? It feels like full of possibilities. But what's in the way? What's in the way to that? Well, if you ask yourself, I don't know what is the problem exactly you are personally living, but all problems come down to a sort of like a divided point of view. Like you're divided in one way of thinking, this is okay, another way of thinking, this is not okay. And this is the way things should be. No, things shouldn't be in a different way. Can you feel that? These two parts of your mind battling. Because that's the fight. That's what is draining your energy. Well, that's what's not allowing you to see things for what they really are. So one side you have what I want, and the other side is what happens. And we normally have a problem because, no, this shouldn't be like this. Do you see the conflict? It's very important that you get this step right. Because it's basically, we tend to think, oh, I'm not sure if I should do this or I should do that. That's where big part of our problems come. You don't know exactly how to react. If you will know exactly how to react, you will be some sort of at peace. You're doing what you can. But no, we have doubts about, should I do this, should I do that? And that's the inner conflict that is really draining your energy and making you feel detached in a negative way from your life. Like you cannot feel it. You cannot enjoy it. You cannot be free like a kid. You cannot rest in that fun, spontaneous part of yourself that you have in there. I know. And so what happens is that when you have this conversation in your head, the next step is to think, okay, which one is wrong? Because you're holding two opinions of the same situation at the same time. Can you see that in your specific problem? Is this or is that? This shouldn't be. This is like two different people in your head talking. One is saying things are the way they should be. That's okay. There may be a solution. And there's a part of you that say, no, I shouldn't accept this. I should just go for something else. I should this or that. It's not one or the other. It's the conflict between them, but it's really keeping you down. And let's put it this way, being practical, because all possibilities are on the table. And you meet, this voice may be right, this other voice may be right, but that's exactly how you spend all your time not clear about what you want, right? About worrying about what's going to happen to you. So let's take an assumption. In any given situation, there's one voice that is right and there's another voice that is wrong in your head. There's one that is really making a good point. And there's another one who is just finding a lawyery kind of way of fighting the other. So some point is confusing, so you don't know which one it is. How can you find that? Most people think that mental clarity comes from thinking a lot about it, like making a long list of pros and cons. And although that's kind of interesting to do, and if you have any situation in your life, please do it. It's kind of a practical way to do it. But deep inside of you, the reason why you actually worry and you suffer and you are at some point disappointed by living in life, you get at some point that you are kind of like, you don't know anymore what you want. You know, things start becoming really profoundly confusing. That's an accumulation of conflict in your mind. So in any given situation, there's one voice that is right and there's one voice that is wrong. And by right and wrong, I don't mean that, it doesn't matter the situation. By right, I mean is one of them is more peaceful than the other. But say the one that is wrong, which was normally called the ego, is a very good lawyer. So if you just listen to the voices in your head, you may go just nuts. So what is the solution? The solution is that instead of listening to the voices, you have to stand back from your own mind and see the roots of each voice, see the profound, the deep conversation behind each point of view. And how you do that? Well, that's meditation. That's what I'm suggesting in this channel over and over again. And it's a process of letting go of your mind. But most people have a really hard time doing this. So if you try to let go of your mind and you feel engaged again over and over again, that's okay. That's really okay. That's when traditionally you use step-by-step progress from, so in a nutshell, I explain this all the time, but the reason why I explain it is because it's so important. Like close to anyone you know, ignore this point. So when you cannot, you say, okay, Ricard, I want to believe you. I think there is something kind of true about what you're saying, but I cannot get to implement it. I got lost in my head when I tried to think about my problems. I got like engaged emotionally, things trigger me, and I get even more confused sometimes. So I sometimes rather not even think about it and just go somewhere else. So what I'm suggesting you to do is to pick an object, will be like your breath, will be like some kind of other object. It could be a mantra, it could be a phrase you like in your head. It just doesn't matter, literally. It could be more neutral, it could be more positive. I won't suggest you to try with something negative. That's something you can do down the line when you really have a huge momentum of courage. Then you can face these things that are not really working. But at first, just pick something positive or something neutral and just completely focus yourself on it. And then your mind will keep on talking. And that's how you figure out what is the voice that is wrong. Because it will be the voice that wants, shut up. The voice that is right, it is talking about reality. It's like, that's the way the sun comes every morning. There's no much to discuss about it. This person, you wouldn't be fighting strongly about, so no, the sun comes in from that place every morning. You don't have such an emotional thing. It's true. You're kind of fine with it. You just know. You say, no, it comes from the other side. No, it really comes from the other side. It can be peaceful even when having an argument like that, because you know, you're confident, you trust. And there's a part of you that doesn't trust. It's like, wait, this is that. This is the way you expose it. I suggest to try with the sensation of breath in your nostrils. And that's the way you expose this desperate thing that is not it's not you. That voice in your head is not you. It's just not you. Because what you are, and when you listen too much to the voices in your head, you get completely lost. At some point, you don't know what is what. And that's when you suffer. That's when you don't know how to enjoy your life. That's when you feel blocked. That's when life doesn't make any sense. So the process is not really much of a thinking process, but more like standing back from your own mind. And you do that by focusing on an object. Again, I'm gonna suggest where the book, yeah. I've always recommend these two books, or The Attention Revolution or The Mind Illuminated. And I'm actually releasing very soon a course. And you can write me, go to my website, ricardcoach.com, and then write me there. I'm not gonna send you my email in the comments on the middle of YouTube, and you don't want to put your email in there too. It's gonna be spamming. So write me on my email. Okay, write me on my website and say, hey, I want access to that course, because I want to make this with a group of people that are really interested. So if this sounds right to you, that sounds like, oh yeah, I want to know more about that, how you reintegrate what you're saying, because it makes sense to you, maybe what I'm saying. But the point is that you actually get to do it. And that's what the part that I may difference with other YouTubers that say in 3 minutes, watch this video and you will never suffer again, or you will never have any problem again. No, I strongly try to make things that will be misinterpreted. So I'm saying you actually have to sit every day to meditate. So pick one of these two books, write me on my website, and yeah, I will try to help you as much as possible. But by doing that, meaning by being able to rest your attention in one object, you will be able to expose this unconscious trauma in your mind, and you will clean time after time by going back to the object. You will clean your mind, and then you will know. And every moment of your life, you're sure. Every moment of your life, you're trusting life. And that's the only thing you want. All this conversation about your problems in your head, the only thing you want is peace. The only thing you want is right now to enjoy your life at its fullest. That's the only thing you want. Don't take so seriously the voices in your head. Or most of the time distracting you. But you made a habit of that. So now you have to, how you change that habit? Well, You pick something that is not your mind and you give yourself fully to that. In that way, you get lost in this moment, in the presence of your being. And these thoughts will start fading away. And your life will become clearer and clearer and clearer. And peace will be your average point from where you face every situation. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you a beautiful day and do meditate.